Hi everyone, I'm Hoodie Angel Brandon, and welcome to another Abyssal Clear. Today we are taking on the combined forces of Mythic Hero Lumera and Emblem Hero Marth. Yes, we have our first ever Emblem Hero, as well as Mythic Mom, Queen Lumera, and this map is quite a headache. Mostly just these two. They're very powerful, and especially together make it very difficult to deal with. Although, as has been the trend lately, I made it a lot harder for myself with the units I really wanted to use on it, so there was that. Most of the other units actually aren't that difficult to deal with. There are some annoying ones, but for the most part they're pretty manageable. But even getting rid of all of these other guys and then just having Marth and Lumera to deal with, they're quite a duo paired up, and they can be pretty tough to deal with. They're both quite tanky, and if Marth initiates on you, you're pretty much done for. Lumera, although more defensive, still hits really hard if she initiates as well, so can definitely be quite a headache to deal with them, but managed to find a solution using the units I wanted to use. So we'll take a look at that and earn the gold quality ribbon, which looks pretty dang cute. So let's take a quick look at our combatants for today's challenge. Leading the charge, as usual, is our dear Professor Byleth. He is running his usual build with stacking damage reduction with Spurn, Vital Astra, and Sword of the Creator, and attack speed finish for more oomph, times pulse to loop it, but he did swap out his seal for the relatively new distant counter melee seal, which also lets him counterattack at ranged, which is pretty helpful on this map since there are a decent number of ranged units. Next up is our dear Big Sis Camilla, who's mostly here just for offensive presence. Her axe isn't really doing anything to support since there are no other cavalry or flying units. Even she's not actually getting the boost. Her axe in this case is basically just a silver axe with HP plus 3. Triangle Adept lets her wall off Lumera a little bit better, so she doesn't instantly die when she initiates. And then attack speed rain is her main form of support this time around, stacking attack speed to give her a little bit more oomph. And then Pegasus Flight also helps by denying some follow-up attacks. Overall, not the most impressive build, but it does work. Next, King Dimitri. As usual, he's here to tank, stacking a bit more speed with attack speed form. He walls off most of the enemies and is able to take out most of them as well. I think there are a few he doesn't quite one-shot, but he does soften them up enough for us to get the kill on them. Nothing too crazy here. And then finally, we have Robin, who honestly isn't doing a whole lot for most of this fight, but he is actually key to clearing things. He's running double poison strike to get true damage and chip Marth down, which is very funny. Attack Res Unity and Love Bouquet actually give him a little bit of offensive power, while also supporting his allies with a little bit more attack and res. And then Speed Opening gives Byleth a constant +6 to speed, letting him keep up with some of the super fast threats on this map. But yeah, Robin is definitely not actually contributing too much on this map. Honestly, even Camilla isn't doing a whole lot. It's mostly Byleth and Dimitri, but I wanted to bring all of these guys because they are all emblems, so I thought it would be fitting to bring them to this debut of Emblem Heroes in Abyssal battles. So with that out of the way, let us test the might of our heroes against the power of the emblems. So this is a very cool map, very thematic. Again, most of the difficulty lies in the units I wanted to bring, and Marth and Lumera themselves being very difficult. The random units aren't actually too bad to deal with for the most part. But I do like this map because it is very thematic. Maybe it would have been slightly more thematic if we had had Lumera and Sigurd, but I get them wanting to have Marth as the first emblem, so with that in mind, maybe it should have been Marth with male Alir, and then Queen Lumera and Sigurd could have been a pairing later on, but still very cool map. And I'm excited to take them out. So let's start by having Professor Byleth reposition Dimitri, who will in turn reposition Byleth, get him in position for next turn, and then we'll have Camilla and Robin move up to do the same. Dimitri is now in position to bait out this cleric, can't counterattack, but we do get them to move down and approach so that we can take them out next turn. And more importantly, the sword flyer will move down and attack Dimitri. No issues taking them out on counterattack. Down they go. And we also have the Axe Knight approach, so we can deal with them in a minute. But first, we have the Bow Cavalier that spawned in with the halting bow preventing follow-up attacks, which is kind of tricky because Dimitri can't deal with that. The only unit here running null follow-up is Professor Byleth, who will handily take out the Bow Cav. I was running null follow-up on Robin, but it became too important to be able to have that extra chip damage from poison smoke, so instead he's running that, but it's fine because Byleth can do it. Next we need to take out this cleric, and while Dimitri can do it, we actually want Camilla to do it so that she's moving her way to the right side of the map. Because while Camilla's offense isn't too important for this map, she is very helpful in the fact that because she's green, Marth will lock onto her and try and chase her down as a priority, which makes it very easy to control his movement by moving Camilla around. And to start things off, we want him to waste time moving to the right side of the map, and so moving her to the right will help with that. And next we can have Dimitri move up and clear out the Axe Cav. Having him do that instead of attacking the cleric also puts him into position to deal with the Red Cavalier, who has really high res, which makes it not worth trying to deal with it with Robin, but instead we can have Robin reposition Dimitri, who will deal with it in his stead. Now Queen Lumera moves down, rallies the Blue Mage, which in turn blocks it from attacking Camilla, who couldn't counterattack and is now forced to attack Byleth instead, who, while can't finish the job, does put them in range to be swept up next turn. And the Red Cavalier moves down, attacks Dimitri for literally nothing, and we have no problem dispatching them on counterattack. Down he goes. And now Marth has begun to move as well, so we do want to get him over to the right side of the map, but while Camilla can take out the Blue Mage, that will actually leave her in range to get hit by the Green Cav, who we can't counterattack due to lacking DC. So instead it's actually better to have Byleth deal with the Blue Mage, and then he can tank the Green Cav afterwards. And now we just need to move Big Sis down. We don't want her trying to tank Lumera yet, so get her out of the way. And then we just move Robin and Dimitri into position for next turn to deal with reinforcements. Green Cav moves in, attacks into Professor Byleth. Does not accomplish a whole lot. We're going to just counterattack, readily destroy them, and then heal ourselves up with our finish skill. So no issues there. And now Marth is moving down, but we want him to move to the right, so we're going to move Camilla to the right, hug the edge of the map, and he will do the same. And that also frees up space for Byleth to move in and take out the Thief. Down you go. And next we need to deal with the Sword Knight. Again, we can't double with Robin due to lacking null follow-up to make space for that Poison Strike, but we can still do a big chunk of damage to him. Oh, bam! And chip him down, which puts them in range for Dimitri to finish the job. So in the end, it didn't end up really mattering too much. It was definitely more important to make room for that chip damage. And now we need to get away from Marth because we don't want him to attack Camilla, so we're going to have her move over and reposition Byleth, and we're going to move Robin down to make space for him. He's going to move over to this space, but unfortunately the Axe Fighters Odd Tempest will trigger, so they're not actually going to attack Byleth. They're going to move in and attack Camilla instead. And it is actually important that we don't double this Axe Fighter, who's relatively fast, but if we double, we actually drop their HP down in range for the Red Flyer to move in with Wings of Mercy and attack her as well. So instead, it's better to have her not double, which is why instead of running Drive Speed here as I was originally planning, we're running Speed Opening so that Byleth still gets the speed boost that he'll need at the end of the map to tank Lumera. But Camilla won't get too fast and double this Axe Fighter. Very tricky balancing of the numbers here. But next we're going to have Dimitri reposition Big Sis Camilla out of the way of the Red Flyer and get himself in range to tank. Axe Fighter triggers Tempest, moves down and attacks Camilla, who counterattacks but does not double, and that forces the Red Flyer to have to attack Dimitri instead, and that's no problem for him to clean up. Now we're going to have Byleth finish off the Axe Fighter. No real issues there. That also makes space for Camilla to move over and drag Marth moving this way, and we'll move Dimitri and Robin into position as well. Marth moves in, and now with this hedge in the way, we can start chipping him down with Robin's Poison Strike. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage in combat, but that extra out of combat damage will add up over time. And now we're going to start moving the rest of our units over, making room. We're going to have Robin attack Marth from this side, do a little bit more chip damage. And next we're going to have Byleth reposition him out of the way so he doesn't get hit by Lumera. And we're going to have Byleth get repositioned out of the way by Dimitri. And we're going to just leave Big Sis down here in this space. Next, we're going to have Robin once again ping Marth. We're doing a little bit more damage this time. Quite a big emphasis on little, but that extra chip damage does make it so that we can reposition Byleth in and he can finally take out Marth. No hesitation, even facing an emblem, down he goes. And now we can move Big Sis Camilla up to tank Queen Lumera. She's going to do quite a good chunk of damage to us. 13 doesn't seem like a lot, but she does hit pretty dang hard, and bear in mind that is with a triangle adept reducing a lot of that. And now Camilla is too weakened to tank another hit, so we're just going to move her up and out of the way. We're going to move Byleth up and get him in range to tank instead. He is still pretty healthy, and we're going to move Robin up behind him so that he's safe. We are still supporting with Robin's Tome and Camilla's Rain skill to help Byleth, but he's going to tank some of this. Unfortunately, Scowl prevents us from using Vital Astra, but we do get a good chunk back on counterattack, and next we're just going to pass turn. Queen Lumera is going to attack into us once again, reduce that damage, and now we can trigger Vital Astra. Miracle triggers prevents us from finishing her in one hit, but Byleth is fast enough thanks to Robin's Speed Opening and the Rain skill from Camilla to get the double and finish her off even with the Miracle effect. And that concludes the battle. Quite a difficult map, but we did prevail in the end, and we earned ourselves the gold quality ribbon as a wonderful present from Mom. So yeah, that was a pretty tricky fight, but still managed to find a solution with the units that I really wanted to bring, our little Emblem squad. And even Robin was able to contribute. But yeah, he's really outdated. But I'm still happy we were able to find a solution for that, and it was a pretty cool map, I would say. So yeah, thank you as always so much for watching, and until next time, this is Hoodie Angel Brandon and the Angel Army's Emblems signing out.